He's larger and physically stronger than a creature any animal talent has ever seen. He is feared by most fairies, but he can actually be very sweet once you get to know him. Oh, and he's magical. Fairies and Spearman, may I present Gruff. Gruff the Neverbeast is one of the most interesting creatures I've come across in the Disney Fairies movies, so I decided to rewatch Legend of the Neverbeast to make this video about a creature that's unique, even for a Neverland creature. Keep in mind that this video does have spoilers for the movie, so if you don't want them, I suggest watching another video. So, let's get started. Now, let's start with the beginning. The movie starts with this bright green comet that not just bathes the hollow in this odd green light, it wakes the Neverbeast up. I'm pretty sure that this comet is the first side of the storm, which will arrive later. As explained in the movie, Gruff prevents the storm from destroying Pixie Hollow, which is something the fairies should be very thankful for. The Green Lightning Storm seems to be some sort of natural Neverland event that occurs approximately every millennium. I'm not surprised that this sort of phenomenon occurs, as all four seasons can exist inside each other in Pixie Hollow. The comet must be what appears a few days before the storm, and it wakes up Gruff. The odd green light from the comet must be like an alarm clock for him. Notice how when he gets awoken by the comet, his eyes, which are the same color of the light by the way, start to glow. It seems like this creature has a connection to the storm. In fact, preventing the storm is his entire life cycle. His massive jaws and giant body, as well as other strong physical characteristics, are just what he needs to successfully build the 4 rock towers to prevent the storm on time. In the movie, he builds the first tower in the daytime and the entire night. If he hibernates for about 1,000 years, staying up all night is probably not exhausting at all after all the sleep you got before. It's the same for the second tower, which he builds on the second day since the comet. When the third day begins, things start to get interesting. The green storm clouds arrive, and that causes Gruff's eyes to flash just like when the comet arrived. The comet's clouds are also the same color as Gruff's eyes. I think the signs that the storm are coming empower him and they motivate him to collect the lightning. At first, he took an entire day to build 1 tower. After the clouds, he built the final 2 towers in just 1 day. I think the clouds empowered him to work harder and fast. After the 4 towers were built, Gruff developed his horns. Now, here's a question I've been wondering. Did he purposefully develop his horns, or was it natural? I think Gruff decided to develop his horns immediately after the lightning absorbs his 4th tower, but he probably wouldn't have always had the power to do that. He worked slowly before the clouds and worked quicker after. Maybe as the storm came closer, he was able to gain the power to develop his horns. And there's even the lightning in the tower when he develops his horns, meaning he must have enough power, but I'll talk about that later. And when the storm actually starts and gets bad, Gruff's bat-like wings develop. Then the towers he built absorb the lightning, so the hollow doesn't get destroyed. Then Gruff flies past the towers to collect the lightning. I'm sure that the towers are a way for him to be able to collect the lightning, as the only other source is inside the green clouds, which is very dangerous. When all the lightning is collected, the storm stops. But even if he's unable to collect 1 tower, he'd have to start all over again in some way. I find it interesting that the towers get destroyed when the lightning is collected. Maybe it's caused by the lightning absorption or something. And after the storm ends, Gruff's horn and wings disappear because he no longer needs them for another 1,000 years. Then, just like other animals with hibernation in their life cycle, Gruff gets tired and prepares for his hibernation now that his work is done. The centuries-long hibernation is just what he needs for the difficult task he performs. Now, who is this Gruff Creature? Well, according to what I just explained, his entire life cycle revolves around this storm. But here's something else that stands out to me. He's usually really serious about preparing for the storm, and he prefers to be alone so he can concentrate on his work. He does care about the fairies as he saved Tink's life and even works to prevent the hollow from being destroyed, but he prefers to be alone while doing his work. However, you could distract him from even the job his entire life revolves around with Pixie Dust. Gruff seemed to really like Fawn's magic dust, and it caused the two to become friends. It's not just the Pixie Dust Gruff is attracted to, it's magic in general. It's pretty obvious that the storm in the movie isn't an ordinary storm. It seems to be a magical one. The storm may give Gruff his powers. So, we all know Gruff is physically bigger and stronger than any animal any fairy has ever seen. He's also very smart, can fly under his own power despite his weight, and in the end of the movie, he healed Fawn, although the magic he used to heal Fawn looks like the green lightning from the storm. So in addition to being insanely large and being the hero of Pixie Hollow, he has super healing powers. He seems to really care about the life of others, like when he was very serious about saving Tink's life, and the storm must be when he's most powerful because of all the magical energy, I guess. I think part of the reason he collects the lightning is not just to protect the fairies, so that he can renew his powerful supply. Maybe after this storm, if he didn't collect lightning, then he'll get weaker and his powers, like the healing power he had, would fade away. So now let's retell the life cycle. The first sign of the storm begins the period when the Neverbeast is at the height of its power. He has enough energy to wake up and start building the rock towers he uses to collect the lightning. When the green clouds fill the sky on the third day, there's enough magical energy for Gruff to build the towers quicker. After he's done building the towers, he forms his horns because there's enough energy for him to do so, and when the lightning storm officially begins, Gruff is able to form his wings. The towers draw in the lightning which Gruff collects. After collecting the lightning, the storm ends. His horn and wings disappear as he no longer needs them, but he still has powers to last him another 1,000 years until the next storm. So although I think Gruff cares strongly about the fairies as he heals them and protects Pixie Hollow at the same time as renewing his energy, he is renewing his magical strength and healing powers as he is doing that. Only magic would cause the heavy beast to be able to fly under his own power. But that's how I see it. So in conclusion, the Neverbeast is probably helping himself as well as helping the other people with his power to heal people and protect the storm. So he really cares about other people, which is really nice. So I hope you enjoy this video, and please add on to the discussion in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed.